turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yes. South African occupy land. That's who we are. Honorable member, can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament. Honorable. Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Pa, 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 pa. To kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
The mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Soli will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness. It's like
Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Pa, pa, pa. Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor.
Why it's appropriate to welcome white Afrikaners here when other refugees like Afghans, Venezuelans, Haitians have all had their protected status revoked.
Well, this is a group, NBC, that is truly fake news. They ask a lot of questions in a very pointed way. They're not questions, they're statements. We've had tremendous complaints about Africa, about other countries too, from people. They say there's a lot of bad things going on in Africa, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. When you say we don't take others, all you have to do is take a look at the southern border. We let 21 million people come through our border, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. They came from all over the world. In many cases, they're criminals. They come from prisons. They come from mental institutions. They come from street gangs. They're drug dealers. So don't say that we didn't take them. We're trying to get them out as fast as we can. And we're doing record business on that. And we just won a big case. We're allowed to send back hundreds of criminals to Venezuela. Just won that today in the Supreme Court. I'm happy to hear. But we do have a lot of people are very concerned with regard to South Africa, and that's really the purpose of the meeting, and we'll see how that turns out. But we have many people that feel they're being persecuted, and they're coming to the United States. So we take from many locations if we feel there's persecution or genocide going on. And we had a lot of people. I must tell you, Mr. President, we have had a tremendous number of people, especially since they've seen this. Generally, they're white farmers, and they're fleeing South Africa, and it's a very sad thing to see. But I hope we can have an explanation of that, because I know you don't want that. It's a kind of a different meeting. Normally we have meetings, we talk about trade, and we'll be talking about trade and other things. But that certainly will be a subject that comes up, yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Vanessa if you're new here. On 21st this May 2025, US President Donald Trump and South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa held a tense meeting in the Oval Office, initially intended to discuss trade relations but dominated by contentious issues. So right now we are going to see how was the meeting, what were the discussions about accusations of white genocide? What will Ramaphosa's response? Trade discussions overshadowed and US policy decisions. So stay tuned as we watch these clips together. Credit goes to original creators. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll be back with more commentary. Welcome.
Guys, the meeting between Trump and Cyril Ramaphosa was so tense. Watch this.
Investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States,
Those are all racism. Those are all deaths.
Yeah.
And just put this on, it's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one.
The two individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings.
Why wouldn't you arrest that man? That man said, kill the white farmers, kill the white farmers. And then he danced, and he's dancing. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of representation.
All right, help me out here. Why did Donald Trump meet South Africa's president in the Oval Office in a public affair to do one of the most spectacular shows of why are we doing this I've ever seen? The conversation came to a point where they were talking about renewing relations, everything was going great, everything was fine. And then Donald Trump proceeded to get the lights down and show a video to the Prime Minister of all these people screaming and shouting, let's just say the G word, and then was surprised when the Prime Minister had a slight reaction to that. Firstly, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you calling this guy into the White House in front of all the press to then show a video and see him squirm when he was watching it? And then the South African Prime Minister came and said, if only I had a plane to donate to you. And I'm just going, oh damn. And then Donald Trump goes, well, if you gave me a plane, I'll take it. And I'm just like, what's happening right now? Please, what am I watching right now? Please, can someone tell me in what world this meeting was in any way a good idea? Why are we doing this? Look, I understand there are problems there. There is a massive backlash against the white farmers and this, that, and the other. But bringing the guy and publicly showing him a video is going to have one effect. And that is, and I quote Donald Trump, good TV. Tell me what you think, because this is wild. Every week. It's every week now. Every week Donald Trump does something amazing.
Is Trump trying to tell us that everything he has been doing is because he has seen videos of Julius Malema chanting, kill the boer? I'm not saying it's not important, but all I'm saying is you made our president travel from South Africa all the way to America in the White House for you to show him the person he knows very well. Please, man. Personally, I think there are so many things that I saw that I was just like, "Aibo, now a cupcake in Genelela." But to be honest, guys, I'm very proud of him because he's a very connected person. He knows when to speak. Emotional intelligence, galo. Sometimes when you need things to be done, you must suck up to whoever must be sucked up to until you get what you want, and then off. To be honest, this is what I think our president or Cupcake is actually doing, and I love it for him. I love it for us, man. I love it because he can control himself and his anger and his irritation. Although I did see him at some point rolling his eyes, go, Kanti, like, me a generator. Are you not finishing with the talk? Because what the fuck? It's like, apart from everything else, I loved how he went with Aborupeti and these other guys and gave them a chance to speak. Yes, they're friends, but that is strategy. I'm talking about a smart president who knows what he wants and will do anything to get what he wants. Whether it is licking your shoes for him to get what he wants, he will do so. Anyway, they spoke so well. Here and there, I will be making brief discussions about each of them and what they said and what I felt like the justice meant. But yeah, they tried, man. Right now, I can't wait to hear what the final conversation about this is. FYI, there is no genocide in South Africa. Hey, Starlink, hey, we need Starlink. It's fine if it's a business transaction, but as long as, guys, we get that aid back. I know we don't have to depend on aid because aid is not good for South Africa, but we're not there yet. We are not there yet. So, sir, Madam Cupcake, thank you for licking those links. This game of chess may very well work very well for many of us. Thank you for putting South Africa first, even if you know we're going to ridicule you for going in with these business people and it makes it seem like a family affair. Thank you.
I just got finished watching the South African president and the president of the United States sit in the Oval Office and talk things through, okay? Now, the real meeting, okay, so they had two different reasons for the meeting, okay? Trump wanted to talk about the stuff that's happening, that he believes is happening to the Afrikaners in South Africa, okay? And the South African president, he wanted to talk about building relations as far as business and technology and to help provide more jobs to South Africa and things of that nature, because he believes that's the root of the problem. That's what South Africa was coming to talk about, and they were coming to talk about relations. But as the meeting went on, Trump pulled out these big, thick printouts from all over the web. You could tell it was the web, okay? So anybody can write whatever, right? But it was the web and about farm attacks on Afrikaners in South Africa, right? Which is why they're fleeing. He said, this is what the meeting is about. So Trump had a whole other thing in mind, right? And so then there was this big screen, like this widescreen TV in there, and they showed two groups. But I'm more familiar with Malema, right? And how what they were saying on the microphone and against the Afrikaners. But yeah, they were showcasing stuff that was backing up Trump's claim that Afrikaners were a target in South Africa, okay? So bottom line, how do I think the meeting went? I think the meeting was garbage, really. Nothing was really done. I think the meeting was just for show. Yeah, I think it was garbage and nothing really got handled, because the first thing that should have been said, I believe, from the South African president's mouth is what the majority of South African people are saying, white and black, is that it's a lie. There is no G word going on in South Africa. Okay. And number two, just like in your country, we have the freedom to say what we want to say. And if Malema says what he says or whatever like that, it's just like it's the equivalent of what someone else may say in your following over here in the United States of America that you might, some other people might take offense to. Okay. And as far as all those newspaper clippings and stuff like that, I'd have been like, okay, well, let me show you. I'd have pointed to my homeboy on the couch that wasn't doing nothing. Start looking up all the clips real quick of all the black South Africans, okay, that have gotten taken out, okay, by the hands of. Okay, that's what I would have been like. Because what you're not going to do is hand me no internet files. Put them in my freaking hand like I'm supposed to read them. Them suckers would have been landed clean on the floor. But that's why I would have got loads of ratings. If I went to the... You want a showdown, baby. We about to have a showdown for show enough. But, yeah, nothing happened. It's going to be the same old. But I do believe that based on this meeting, they are going to plan something for South Africa. And it's going to be for the good of those who once ruled in apartheid.
Alright, I hope you have seen how President Trump confronted President Ramaphosa with claims of violence against white South Africans by presenting a video depicting white crosses and inflammatory rhetoric from opposition figures. So these claims have been widely discredited, with data indicating that the majority of violent crime victims in South Africa are black South Africans. So what do you think that Ramaphosa has responded about all these claims? He refuted all allegations, and he continued emphasizing that violence affects all South Africans, saying that the government policy do not target any racial group. So he highlighted that the controversial chants in the video were from the opposition parties, not reflective of government stance. What do you think? Tell me, because all this Ramaphosa's response has brought many people to believe that what Donald Trump has presented on the screen was true. They believe that white South Africans have been excluded in the community. So while the meeting was meant to address trade issues, including impending US tariffs on South Africans' exports, it's funny that these topics were largely overshadowed by the confrontation over and over the racial violence claims. So through all those racial claims, discussions, and all disagreements, Donald Trump has announced that the US would not participate in this upcoming G20 summit in South Africa, and he said to Ramaphosa that he had granted refugee status to nearly 60 people, white South Africans, a move criticized for potential racial bias in US immigration policy. So guys, all in all, the meeting highlighted significant tensions between the US and South Africa, with disagreements over racial issues and immigration policies taking center stage. Despite the confrontational nature of this meeting, President Ramaphosa maintained composure and reiterated the South African government's commitment to addressing violence affecting all the communities. So thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate your love and your support to this channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, because we are not done on telling stories and discuss about what is happening on this world. See you in the next episode.